another edition of Gunslinger Podcast. I would tell you the episode number, but I am blanking on it, so that'll be in the description. But I'm joined with some pretty cool gunslingers right here, so we're just going to go around, say our names, and where we're chatting from. Just kind of give you the global sense of what's going on. For example, I'm McMurphy. I'm chatting from Northern California. How about you, Fed?
Fed Architect, and I am coming from southeast Georgia.
Oh, very cool. And how about you, Dunk?
I'm Dunkaroo69, and I am from Alberta, Canada, where it's not cold today. It's actually quite hot.
Wow.
What, it's at least 65? Is that what you're telling us?
It's at least not snowing. That's what I'm telling you.
And how about you, Wikilectual?
The king of cool, Wikilectual, here in Seattle, Washington, home base of Microsoft.
Nice.
Well, how I know Seattle is the home of grunge music, because I will never accept that it's not 1992 anymore.
Exactly.
That's all they play here.
Love it. Okay, so
the stations are dedicated to grunge down there.
Oh, yeah. Down there. I forgot now. You're gonna... It's like it's up for me instead. But we're just going to go through. There's been some headlines particularly after Comic-Con, and God, we haven't done one since E3, which is crazy to think about. So we're going to totally abandon the idea of covering anything and everything. So we're just kind of what's the most recent stuff. For example, what just ended was the Destiny beta on, I think, all the consoles, right? 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4. Did you play it all, Fed?
Yeah, I played it quite a bit, as a matter of fact. Like I said, I played it on both the Xbox One and the PS4, but I played it more on the Xbox One.
And how about you, Dunk?
Yep, I played it just on the Xbox One, though.
Did you play it all, Wiki?
Yeah, I copied Dunk.
Oh, wow.
Just Xbox One.
And I'm back in the past. I played on the PlayStation 3. Let's just kind of go around. What was your initial impressions of Destiny, and at least how it is for the beta? What do you think, Fed? Do you think this cements the purchase or not, or are you still on the fence? What do you think?
I'm buying it, but I mean, I will go as far as saying, I mean, it wasn't. I don't have the same. Let's say I'm not driving the hype train like a lot of people, but you know, I'll wave at it from the tracks and so. But it was a good game. They had a lot, had issues, but it was a beta, so I give it that.
Right.
I wasn't a fan of the PvP, or at least that game mode that they had, which made no sense to me whatsoever. But other than that, yeah, it was a good game. It was fun with friends.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what do you think, Wiki? What was your initial just kind of reaction to it?
I love the PvE co-op. I'm in the same boat as Fed. I did not like the PvP. I think that's coming from years of Halo experience. It was a little too slow, and you died way too quick for my liking. Like, I felt I was playing Call of Duty. I haven't raged that hard since Modern Warfare 2. So I'm good to buy it, but it's going to be for the PvE and the raid missions.
Yeah. What do you think, Dunk?
My first initial reaction is it's a shooter, is what it felt like to me, right?
Right.
And like I'm with Fed on there. I was waiting for a great game, and I just felt like it was just another regular game. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it was fun. I had a fun time playing. Me and Fed played a ton of co-op together. But again, I'm with everybody here. The PvP, at least the control mode that they have, I will not buy that game for the PvP if that's how it's going to be, because it made no sense to me whatsoever, and it just wasn't fun. But the co-op, loved it. Loved the co-op.
No. Yeah, I'm kind of, well, to be fair, I didn't actually play the player versus player. I read, like, on our Facebook and then in our forums, I read enough to, like, you know what, this isn't going to be my scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love Borderlands 2, and this kind of feels like Star Wars meets Rage meets Borderlands 2, which I like. You know, Borderlands 2, it was cool and all, but it wasn't, It obviously not serious. It's just very stylized, and I love how this feels like the old matte paintings from Star Wars. If you watch the original trilogy, you know, and there's all that artwork that was done for it. This feels heavily inspired by that. So I actually really liked the co-op. That's where I'm going to be when the game comes out. I think I was on the fence, but I think it sold me.
I think that's everybody's kind of general consensus, is that the co-op is the reason to buy this game. I think, like, the multiplayer aspect of it, I don't think it was a big intentional thing. Like, they weren't building a game around multiplayer, they were building a game around a co-op experience.
Oh. And just joining our call right now is Oxabella. Go ahead and say hey, hi, Oxabella. Or not, she just left.
Right
So she's getting it figured out. But, as far as the Destiny, I think Fed kind of touched on, as far as some things that could use tweaking, what are some issues, if any, that you all saw about the Destiny beta that you hope is fixed by the time it hits the retail shelves?
I got one.
Okay, go ahead, Wiki. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. There were some areas where they did not want you to go when you weren't that certain level. Mm-hmm. Like, say you're level 4 and you run into a level 8 enemy. His level shows up as a question mark for number 1.
Oh, I saw that too. Yeah.
So you're like, I don't know what to do with this guy. Like, is he my friend? Am I supposed to shoot him? But, you know, I shoot everything first and ask questions later, so I shot him.
Run away.
And no damage popped up. It said immune. And that annoyed the hell out of me. Yeah. Because it should be at least a little damage. Yeah. Where, you know, it might take 15 minutes to kill him, but I should be able to kill him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the old Diablo days. Like, if you can circle around and hide from the enemy enough in the dungeon, sooner or later you can kill the bastard, you know. But I had the same thing. It was it map? It was level 3 on the obviously Earth, and it was like this little tunnel between this rock wall, and I can see below, and there is these soldiers surrounding this vehicle, and yeah, it was the question mark. So I was like, well, I probably don't have any friends here, so I just shot, and they destroyed me. But, what do you think, Dunk?
One thing that bothered me, and this is purely cosmetic, but I don't know why it bothered me so much, is having to hold down, I think it was the A button, probably on the PS3, PS4, it was like the X button, or the square button. You had to hold it down to actually interact with something. I just kept pressing the button just once and not holding the button down, so the whole circle goes around the button. I don't know why that annoys me, but it just really bugged the hell out of me.
That's an extremely MMO thing, Dunk.
I know it is. But God damn, that was so frustrating.
Yeah, I went through the same thing. I was like, I started that live stream, and then there's like a minute of me like not able to navigate because I wasn't holding down the button. So.
And again, that's purely cosmetic, but holy cow. And also, and I don't know why they did this, but why did they give you, in the beta, why did they give you stuff that you can't use? Like, you don't get to level 16 or whatever, so why did they give you a gun that can be used at level 16? Why did they give you armor that could be used at level 16 if you can't level up to level 16?
What was the max on the levels you can go for the beta?
8.
8, really? Wow, I was already getting close to maxing out then.
Mm-hmm. I am here.
Hey! Sneak attack. Yeah. That's Oxabella. Go ahead and say hi, Oxabella.
Hello.
And where are you chatting from?
I'm from the UK.
Oh, cool. I actually did not know that.
That accent is not fake.
Yeah.
Very real.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask Fed the question, and then we'll come to you. This is in regards to Destiny. You played it, right? Oxabella?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Well, Fed, what was an issue that you're hoping that they fix by the time they come out on retail? Just based on the beta.
You want just one?
Well, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll just sit for
the whole thing.
Yeah.
No, I just made a video. That's why I have all these written down. First, I'll start with the PvP, just because we all hated that to begin with, or didn't like it.
Or ignored it.
I don't know. Maybe Donna didn't
ignored it.
care, but in that, the latency netcode, it was horrible. I mean, absolutely horrible. I mean, I would stab somebody and they would actually die a second later. Level Cap did a video on it as well, and you could actually see where he shot somebody and a second later they fell to their death. It was just weird. Then I thought I wasn't a big fan of. I thought the AI and the co-op were way too easy to kill. I mean, I did it on normal, and I know you can switch to hard, but you'd think they'd be a little harder. I mean, even when I was level 6 and I went on some roaming missions and ran into an 8, you could give them a couple of headshots and they're down. Yeah. And that just seems kind of weird. And finally, even though Rage did it, I'm not a fan, and I hope maybe it's different in the full game, but I don't like that you do everything in the missions all start from the same point and you run through the same areas. So like the first 5 missions are all on Earth and you run through the same areas. So if it's like that, then I hope it's not like that where you do it all on Earth and then you get those missions done, then you go to the moon, you do them all on the moon, then you go to Mars, you do them all on Mars. Because then the whole point is, what's with those planets are useless until they come up with something new.
That's right. Yeah.
So anyway, sorry. I'll leave it there.
Well, and you mentioned you did a video for it. Let's give a shout out to your work. What? Hey, phone! I put you on mute. We would edit that, except for I'm too lazy. So we're just gonna. It's part of the charisma of it. But what was the YouTube like? Give a shout out to your videos. People can follow you.
They just go to Fat Architect. It's just my YouTube channel. Plain and simple. I just did that. My thoughts on the beta, and so no biggie. There's a few Minecraft stuff if people want to look at that too. But
cool. And again, Oxabella is joining us. First of all, what did you play the Destiny beta on?
The Xbox One.
Xbox One, and what was your initial impression? We're just kind of first we went through our impressions, and then if you can just also tell us if there's something that you hope gets tweaked by the time the game is released.
I actually really enjoyed playing the beta, and I think that there is a lot of different stuff to do, and with the amount of stuff that they actually showed you in the beta, it makes me wonder what is still in there that they haven't shown us. I think that there is just going to be so much stuff, and I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it.
Now, go ahead.
One of the things that I didn't like was the PvP. I really did not like the PvP.
That's a
surprise. Bella was raging hard with me.
I was. I think my main issue with it is the hunter in PvP. Like, the other 2 characters, when you get your ultimate power, you can only use it once. Whereas with the hunter, they get their gold gun, which has 3 bullets in it, and each bullet is a one-shot kill. So yeah.
That's why I used the hunter.
I was one of those people. Which is the guy that throws out that big blow from his hand or whatever. What's that guy?
Warlock.
Oh, okay, okay.
Warlock.
Yeah, he's cool. I like you.
Well, when I saw that the hunter had a subclass gunslinger, I was like, well, of course I'm going for that one, But at least for the first character. Now, did all of us have a chance to play the moon missions?
Yes.
For like 10 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. How about you? Let's start with Dunk. How was that compared to the Earth stuff? See, I didn't get a chance to play it. I watched, I'm blanking on his name. He had an awesome feed on it at GS, the moon missions, and it looked cool, but I was just wondering. Yes, there we go, Silas. He had a really cool shout out to him. If you should check out his live feeds, he streams quite a bit and it's really high quality. But what did you think of the moon thing? Was it different enough to be promising for the rest of the game when we open up everything, or?
Oh yeah, I mean if there's going to be all these different planets with all these different missions, it's going to be really cool, I think, especially the co-op experience. The problem that I had with it was it was I think it was an Xbox Live related issue because it went down and you weren't able to invite friends, you weren't able to just do anything with your live. Some of the live content was even missing. I think it was when they opened that up, they didn't expect billions of people to all of a sudden just jump on Xbox Live and play it. But yeah, so it screwed up Xbox Live for me. And I only got to play about 10 minutes, so it kind of sucked. But it was fun for the 10 minutes that I played.
Well, how about you, Fed?
Yeah, I played it for the whole time. I was online, so I was good. And I like the moon. Like I said, as long as I can go back and forth and I'm not just having to do the whole moon missions all in a row, I'll be okay with it. But I don't think that's the way it's going to be. But yeah, the moon was cool. I look forward to the other planets too, since I've seen the moon.
So
right.
It was hard to tell when I was watching it. Does it feel diverse, or does it just feel like a reskinned Earth? You know what I'm saying? You're like, when I go to Saturn, is it just going to be a different?
It's going to be the same thing with Saturn. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can see the rings in the clouds, in the skyline. Or is it going to feel like there's a difference in every place I go?
It felt like, to me, it was just the Earth that looked like the moon. There was no, you think there would be, your jumps would be a little higher or something because you're on the moon.
Yeah, anti-gravity, yeah, that'd be cool.
But, nope, it was exactly the same.
No. See, they should implement that in there. There should be, different environments should have different effects on you, right? If you're playing on Jupiter or something like that, you shouldn't be able to run as fast because your breathing is going to be more labored or something like that. Each thing should be a little more diverse. But yeah, I agree with Fed. It was kind of a reskinned Earth.
How about you, Oxabella? Did you get to play the moon at all?
I did for a little while until Xbox Live died. I liked it. I felt like it was kind of exactly the same as everything that I'd been doing previously. So it's just, I feel like even though I'm really looking forward to the game, I feel like it's going to be one of those games where it's just grinding and grinding and grinding and doing the same thing over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel that different to me at all. But I did still enjoy it.
And how about you, Wiki?
I actually did not get a chance to play it. Because I moved this weekend, so I had a blast doing that.
Yeah, that's
fun time.
Yeah, that's always fun, moving. No, I didn't get a chance to play the moon thing either, but as far as I think what Oxabella was saying about doing things over and over, and it seems like I won't be able to do the co-op. Like Tozer and I, we played Borderlands 2. I keep kind of comparing the two. And it was really fun to play local co-op in that, and when the repetition happened where I'd have to go through the same thing again, it didn't feel like such a pain in the butt when I was playing with somebody else, you know? So I guess that's one hurdle. I'm a little afraid that Destiny will have to work out if, I mean, granted, there's going to be a lot of people on the master list for the game, and I'm sure even on the PS3 I can find other people, but it's still, it loses a little something when you don't have the option to, have a local person. So I wish co-op would be in there. I may be the only person, but,
No, I'd play it with my son if they had it, I know that.
Yeah. Well, let's kind of move on from the Destiny one, unless if anyone has some parting thoughts about the Destiny beta.
Well, I did have one other tiny little issue.
Uh-huh.
I have a lot of friends that I like to play with, and I really don't like the fact that they've limited it so that you can only play with 2 other people at a time.
Oh, you're talking about, what are they called? The
fire team.
The fire team.
Yeah.
People want to call them war parties, but yeah.
Most games you get 5 or 6 at the maximum, and I'm used to that. I play a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of Titanfall, and I like to play with as many of my friends as I can because I don't like to leave people out. And the only way that you can do that on Destiny, it seems like, is to play PvP, which no one likes. That's something that I hope they change.
I know we were able to get 4 people.
We had 4, yeah.
But I think that is the max.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
See, I had 2, shout out to Goss and Steve, because they jumped in. I didn't even know about the fire team, and then they were in the game and they were dancing, doing the dance thing in front of me. So, which impressed me. I didn't know how to do that. But I was like, oh, that's cool. So I didn't know what the limit was or anything like that as far as friends. To me, my biggest pet peeve, especially in online gaming, if they cannot get friends to play with friends,
that's an issue, right?
That's a huge issue. So hopefully that's not an issue with Destiny.
Yeah, I hope they expand it.
It used to be 4. Like, before the beta came out, they were saying 4-person co-op, and then they bumped it down to 3, which is never a good sign.
Yeah, like I said, we might have just...
before.
We might have just had a glitch. Yeah.
I don't know. It's hoping there was something on that was said that kind of made me remember something, but I quickly passed, so it must have not been important. But it's just the defense of Destiny about the player versus player is when it comes to like MMOs and stuff like that, I never get into that. To be honest, I never did for the Diablo, and I never did that for Marvel Superheroes. I think it was the last one I played for a little bit. That's not my scene. Unless if it's like a Call of Duty or a Battlefield or something like that, But when it comes to kind of a role-playing aspect of it, I usually just,
Well, this was a regular shooter multiplayer. Like, it was like a Conquest, but it wasn't. It was like a TDM with Conquest.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems to me like they're going to be trying to push the PvP aspect quite a lot, because with the events that they do, like the Iron Banner events that they had going on throughout the beta, like that you can only get certain items by doing the PvP. So it seems like they're going to be pushing it very hard to try and get people in it by offering them exclusive items if they do it.
Well, they better have some good game modes.
Yeah. Okay, well, on the next kind of like big topic that's just got released today, this week has actually had some releases that is worth mentioning. One, let's talk about Nintendo a little bit here.
Oh no!
Yeah, not for long, I promise. But they did release their financial report, and there's good news and bad news. The bad news is, always start with that first, right? They did report their 3rd annual loss. And the exact, 9.47 yen?
Yep.
So that's still down, which, again, 3 in a row, and I think all 3 of them kind of marks the first time Nintendo's ever reported a loss. So 3 in a row, it's not the greatest sign.
Nope.
On the plus, in a way, it was doing much, much worse prior to Mario Kart 8 coming out. And in a little over a month, they sold 2.82 million copies. And then that sparked an additional 510,000 Wii U consoles being sold. So that definitely bumped it up quite a bit. Especially if you waded through our 3-part Mario Kart 8 podcast. It was mentioned quite a bit that Mario Kart 8 was kind of super important for Nintendo to be able to shift gears and starting to sell the units and get out of their funk. I'm just going to get everyone's opinion on, okay, so it obviously did wonders in selling it, but do you, as just somebody that's playing other consoles that are, been in the retail space as far as what's selling, what isn't, do you feel the hole's too big for Nintendo to climb out of, or do you think that they can actually build on this and not be reporting losses anymore in the Wii U cycle of Nintendo? How about you, Wiki?
I think they're going to be fine. Everybody I've talked to says they in quotations, won E3, which I agree with. All the games they showed were awesome. Like, I want to play them. Sadly, I'm not going to pick up a Wii U.
Right.
But I want to. But I think they're going to be fine. Another thing is, if Evo picks up the new Smash Brothers, that is another huge thing, because I even watched some of the Evo tournament this year.
Oh, yeah.
The Smash Brothers Melee thing was freaking ridiculous. I've never seen anybody use Jigglypuff's rest move that way. Just making people fly off the screen. But yeah, with Mario Kart sold the units, and now that everybody has one, they're going to want the games that are coming out, which is going to be the Super Smash Brother. Hyrule Warriors looks awesome to me as well.
It does.
I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I've been playing Dynasty Warriors for years.
Yeah.
So throw a Gloss of Zelda over that. I'm all game for that.
I think that's what they're hoping too, you know.
And it's going to work. I don't.
Well, what do you think, Fed? Because I'm asking you because I don't think you have any interest in buying a Wii U, right?
No, I have none.
Right. So when you see that kind of from outside, when you see the reports, is it significant at all? Does it mean anything, or do you think Nintendo has a chance?
I mean, it depends on your definition of chance. I mean, are they gonna ever compete with Microsoft, PlayStation, and Xbox? No.
Right.
They're gonna be their niche. I mean, I think, you know, they're gonna sell their games. People are gonna play them. Mario Kart, you know, was a good example. If they have them like that and bring them out, that's fine. But they're never gonna. They're gonna have to be their own. You know, they might as well just detach themselves from any of these AAA titles that go to the other gaming consoles and just focus on what they do and be that Mario Kart or, you know, whatever it is they have, and focus on their own games and not worry about the rest of it. If they do that, they'll be all right. But if they try to say they're, you know, or compete with the other two, they'll be in trouble. They'll be in trouble.
What do you think, Oxabella?
I think that they will do fine. I think that the Wii U is a very underrated console. And from everything that I've seen on it, because I don't own one, I would love to have one. I had every intention of buying one when Mario Kart 8 came out. But unfortunately, my PC has decided that it wants to die. So I have had to spend a lot of money on upgrades for my PC just to keep it going. But my little boy now, he's getting to the age where he wants to play games with me. He wants to sit down and try and play with the controller and everything else. And I think a Wii U is great for children as well as adults. And I think with children getting older every day and getting more interested in stuff like that, I think that they will be perfectly fine. Parents are going to keep buying it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think, Dunk?
Being a huge Wii U fan, my opinion is probably very biased. But I think, first off, I think Nintendo needs to smarten up a little bit and stop marketing themselves as a family console. They need to start marketing themselves as a serious gaming console. I heard that it's possible that the new Assassin's Creed isn't coming to Nintendo, which is really big considering Ubisoft loves Nintendo, or at least I thought, you know, they were in bed together kind of thing. So, I mean, if they're losing these big AAA titles and all they're focusing on, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the Nintendo releases. They're the reason why a Wii U is, to me, such a great console.
Right.
But I think, I mean, today, no matter how you slice it, today, gamers want big games. And it doesn't matter what console they're playing on. They want big games. They want Assassin's Creed. They want Battlefield. They want Call of Duty. I mean, today, most people play video games that are multiplayer related anyway. The selling point of those games is the big multiplayer experiences. And when Nintendo decides that they can't have these games on their console, or the third-party developers don't see a reason why they should buy on or build anything on these consoles, then they start having an issue. And that's when they start losing and having profit losses like they are right now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, with Mario Kart selling that many consoles, it's a great thing, especially for people that are kind of, you know, they've had their fill of shooters, they've had their fill of, you know, the big giant games that are coming out now, and they're starting to look for the fun games, the games that are, you know, a really good thing to play, like Smash Brothers is going to be fun, the Toad game that's coming out is going to be fun, Mario Maker is going to be incredibly fun.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and it's great for those gamers, and if they can just focus in on getting everybody in together into the Wii U, then they'd be fine. I think also what they should do is stop focusing more on the gimmicks and just start focusing more on the console itself. I love my gamepad, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But, I mean, apart from the really cool, nifty extra features that it serves, it doesn't really do anything for me. If it didn't come with the gamepad, I wouldn't see any reason why I would need a gamepad, is kind of what I mean, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree for the most part. I think the marketing for the Wii U and its initial up to Mario Kart 8 lifespan of it was so bad that I think if it wasn't Nintendo behind it, without knowing that they have iconic mascots that they can pull out when they need to, the Wii U would have tanked any other company.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it would have been the way of Dreamcast, you know?
Think of if this console was like a no-name console, would anybody buy it?
No.
Like if this was a brand new console from a brand new developer, would anybody have bought the Wii U?
I'm putting up a petition to get Destiny on the Atari Jaguar. I don't know what you're talking about. I
think that's called a pipe bomb.
Really? Not a pipe dream?
Pipe dream? Pipe bomb.
But, I don't know. So, I think Mario Kart 8 is going to get them on a hole. I think the hole that they're getting themselves onto, or the plateau, to keep the kind of cumbersome metaphor going, is their niche. I don't think they have a chance to truly compete against the PS4 and Xbox One, at least that same crowd. I think you can put the Wii U and set it up in somebody's house and show them, and pretty much all gamers would enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I don't think you have a chance in hell, or Nintendo doesn't, in actually getting the bulk of if the average gaming age is 30-something, they're not buying the Wii U, and I don't think you're going to convince them to buy the Wii U.
No.
I think, and that's really Nintendo's fault.
Yes.
Because if the average age is, I think they said 32 now, so if the average age is 32, it really is 100% Nintendo's fault for not appealing to that crowd that grew up on their systems.
Yes, that's the issue. So they need to stop thinking that it's back in the 90s now, right, and kind of get with the program.
So that's my opinion, and I'll move on in that. But it's just I hope for the best. Obviously, like I said, I love the system. Mm-hmm. I don't regret the purchase at all. I think they can build on this and keep their niche, and it's a very profitable niche.
Yeah.
But as far as the retail space, about having equal percentage down the line with the other consoles, that's not going to happen. And I think some truly fundamental things need to change at Nintendo if they want that to be their goal.
Yes, I agree.
Anyway, let's talk about a real train wreck, Homefront. Now, I think this came out today, right? The franchise Homefront, the sequel, and we got some teasers, I believe, during E3, right? About was it Homefront Revolution?
Yeah,
Crytek has sold it to Deep Silver, so it's their property now. So this is kind of a two-pronged question. One, are you looking forward to Homefront Revolution? What's your opinion on the possibility of that being a good game? And two, it changing hands, does it hurt the chances or not as far as the production of that game? Let's go back to Fed. Let's start with him. Or not.
Sorry. I had to cough earlier, and I muted. I didn't want to feel bad. All right. So anyway, I when I first heard that it was coming out, and I saw the trailer, and I knew it was Crytek and the CryEngine and all that stuff, I was pretty excited for it because I didn't hate the first Homefront as much as everybody else. I mean, I wish it could have done better and got better support, but that's a whole nother issue. Mm-hmm. And so this one I thought had a good chance to be good. Now I don't know much about Deep Silver. If I know any of their games, it's escaping me because I don't know what they've done.
Dead Island.
I can help you out there.
Isn't it Dead Island? Yeah.
Dead Island? See, I didn't like Dead Island. So
Dead Island, Saints Row 4.
Oh yeah, Saints Row. That's right.
So I think it's Risen.
None of the games I've played. That's awesome. All right. So anyway, now I have some concern that it's, when it switches hands, the story changes. People don't agree with what they did, so that could be, and then who knows when the hell this thing will come out. 2016 now, I'm going to guess. Mm-hmm. And is it still going to be on the CryEngine? I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I'll wait and see, because if it looks the same and, or it feels like it's going to be a good game, I'll still get it. I'll still look forward to it until I see something that says, oh, crap, it's going to suck.
Right. He goes the way of Duke Nukem, right? So.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
What do you think, Oxabella? What do you think of the news about Homefront?
My answer is going to be rather short, because I have never played it, I have never heard of it, and I've never heard of the company that made it.
Well, there you go.
Homefront has a little bit of lore within our group because we were so excited for the game. We made banners and everything. I think this is kind of retread of what we've talked about before. And then it came out. We even had a developer on our side, and it came out, and wow, yeah, it was a lot of bad things. Well, not bad things. I mean, we just moved on to something else, but it was disappointing. Well, what do you think, Wiki? Since you Deep Silver. See, I haven't played any Deep Silver's main games either. I wasn't into Saints Row or
Deep Silver. It's going to be fine. From what they've shown at E3, that game is at least 60% done. So it's still going to be CryEngine, because if they change to the engine, they'd have to start from scratch. So it's saying that, but it's going to be fine. They took over the Saints Row series. They didn't do Saints Row 1, 2, or 3. They did 4 after THQ and Violation went down.
THQ. Oh,
they bought that property.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I really like Saints Row 4.
Yeah.
And there's actually only one reason I'm looking forward to this game.
What's that?
And I touched on this earlier. It's because it's set in Philadelphia.
Oh, really?
And I cannot think of a game that has been set in that city ever.
Now, since it's Revolution, it makes sense that would be the setting. That's actually pretty clever. But you did mention, I totally forgot that this has already changed hands, Homefront. It started as THQ.
Yeah. The reason that it went to Crytek is because of THQ.
See, that actually makes me a little more worried. This does feel like the way of Duke Nukem. Maybe in 10 years we can talk about the game again.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think, Dunk?
I'm in a strange boat because I liked Homefront. I'm probably one of the very few people that actually enjoyed Homefront. I mean, I agree that when it was released, it was really bad, and it was almost unplayable on the multiplayer. Yeah. But once that was fixed and all the updates for it, I thought it was a really cool game. Also, I like Crytek. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Crytek, and Crytek's going out of business because a lot of people don't like Crytek.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like Crytek. Their games, visually, are gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that CryEngine is so pretty.
Yeah.
Even Warface, their free-to-play game that they have, looks great. I mean, it looks better than Call of Duty on my Xbox One, and it's free. But it's that CryEngine. It's gorgeous. It's so amazingly gorgeous. So, I mean, if Homefront 2 is on the CryEngine, and if it plays as cool as I think the first Homefront played, then I'll be just fine with it. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be pretty cool, especially from what I've seen at E3, because it looked really good at E3.
Yeah. No, it looks cool, and I guess personally I'm being a little cynical and just kind of, not that I always just go by the reviews, but yeah, I think if you take the whole mesh of reviews and put them together, once in a while you can filter through the truth. Mm-hmm. And I got burned. I was so excited to get Homefront. I had a pre-order on it, and then the reviews came out. I mean, like right before I was literally going to go to the store and buy it, and I'm like, oh, what the hell's going on? So, I don't know. We'll see if it even comes out, right?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Well, now the next thing is, speaking of... no, that's a bad transition. Speaking of things coming out, but The Last of Us Remastered came to the PS4. I was just going to your opinions on, even if you haven't played it, what you've seen of the footage. What do you think about stuff being remastered, put on the PS4 that's just recently been on the PS3? If you've played Last of Us, what you think of it? I'm extremely biased about The Last of Us, so I'm not going to chime in too much here. How about you, Oxbella?
I never played The Last of Us because I didn't own a PS3 and I don't own a PS4.
Uh-huh.
But I did watch an entire playthrough of it on the PS3. I watched PewDiePie. And I've watched a few streams of the remastered one, and to me it looks the same. I don't see any difference whatsoever. Good game. Very good game. It did make me want to get a PlayStation 3 just so that I could play it myself. But it doesn't look any different to me, and I think the people that played it on the PlayStation 3 have no reason to get it on the PlayStation 4, in my opinion.
Right.
That's your trophy whore.
Yeah, trophies.
Yeah.
Well, let's go with you next, actually, Wiki.
I've never played it. I've been waiting for the PlayStation Now to launch so I can play it on my Vita.
Oh, yeah.
If it doesn't blow it up. Because that game is gorgeous. I don't mind. I've been having problems with these remasters. I'm not a fan of rehashing these games for the new generation. But this one, I'm okay with because it is so good, and because a lot of people have bought PS4s that haven't necessarily had PS3s.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for the day for
Vita.
Yeah.
For Vita.
For that Vita to start.
Good.
Yeah, there's no reason you can't.
Sure.
What do you think, Dunk?
I think, in my honest opinion, they should have withheld The Last of Us on the PS3 and just released it on the PS4. Since the release was pretty close together. I mean, PS4 came out not long after the Last of Us was released. So
yeah.
I think they should have just waited and withheld the PS3 version and just put it on the PS4, or released a PS4 version and a PS3 version at the same time. That would have been a smarter choice. But I mean, I look at like a remastered thing like the Halo Master Chief Collection that's coming out, and it's huge. Like, it's really huge. It's 100+ multiplayer maps.
Holy
So for me, a game like that, which is going to cost the same price as a regular new game, is, to me, it's it works better, right? Because people don't play The Last of Us for the multiplayer. At least I never played The Last of Us for the multiplayer, and I don't know a ton of people that did. It was all campaign. That was the reason why you bought that game.
Right.
Halo, on the other hand, you're buying it for the multiplayer because of all those bloody maps that are in it. I mean, it's going to be a huge multiplayer. So the rehashing of this game, what they should have done with the release of Uncharted 4 coming out, they should have rehashed the entire Uncharted series. Would have been a lot cooler, like Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, redone all of those for the PS4, and then given you like beta access to the Uncharted 4 that's coming out. That would have been, to me, that would have been a cooler idea than releasing a game that hasn't been out for way too long already. So
yeah, Last of Us is, I mean, it won IGN's Game of the Year last year. So I mean, well, what do you think, Ped?
Okay. Well, I just started playing it on the PS4, and I didn't play it on the PS3, of course.
Okay.
And I've seen videos of the comparison between the two, and I agree they look the same to me. But I am probably one of the few people who right now think I hear like Wiki said it looked gorgeous, and you've seen all the reviews. It's a beautiful, one of the most beautiful games or whatever. I think it looks horrible. I'm sorry. I don't think it looks that good. I mean, it looks fine, but it isn't beautiful. You want to see beautiful? I think the remastered Tomb Raider looks much better than that ever looked.
Oh, really?
But the gameplay is fine. I mean, I'm probably with the game.
You're right.
But as far as it being one of the most beautiful games, I just don't see it. Like I said,
the buildings are supposed to be in rubble.
They're not unfinished buildings.
The buildings just look like they're. I mean, the building textures just look like they're painted on. It's horrible. To me, it's not good.
No.
I can render better than that on my computer.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, but like I said, the game's fine, but remastered, I think Tomb Raider did a better job of remaster than this did.
Yeah, and Tomb Raider, in its defense, on the PS3 was a pretty gorgeous game, so they did a good job.
You can clearly see the difference between the two on the Xbox, anyway.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think if a person's a PS4 player and they totally did not play any of Last of Us, the fact that it comes, preloaded with all the DLC and the expansion, I think that's a good deal for the price, actually. As a PS3 person, when I go to the PS4, if I decide to go that way and not the Xbox One, it really counts on who has the first exclusive that I see and go, oh my god, I have to get it. And I'm assuming that's going to be Uncharted for the PS4. But
Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah,
there you go.
Sunset Overdrive looks cool.
Kangaroo cock piece.
I'm wearing that. I don't care what it says.
No, that's what I said.
In real life.
I'm wearing it right now.
Sorry.
This is why it's an audio podcast, not a video. But but as a PS3 person, I'm not going to go rebuy it. I think it's way too soon. I think what Oxbella was saying is I don't really see the difference. And like just today, because of all the hype or the buzz, whatever's the better term for it, on The Last of Us, I went in and I remembered, man, I haven't played the expansion yet, and I love this game. I have no excuse. I went and downloaded the expansion. Now, I skipped all the DLC multiplayer because, that's to me, it's an extra. It's frosting. I mean, that's great. There's multiplayer, and I think they do something on it that's quasi-unique, but... it's not what got me to sell it. It's like the Uncharted. I didn't buy any of the Uncharted for the multiplayer.
No, God, no.
Campaign's
kick-ass.
Yeah, it's a cool Indiana Jones video game. It's great. And I honestly, as far as my purchasing dollar, Sony needs to thank Naughty Dog, because I would have not bought the PS3. I probably would have went with the Xbox 360 if it wasn't for Uncharted 2. And I have a feeling that's what's going to be with the PS4. Maybe not. It's great. I'm not a big fan of the remastered stuff. I mean, I did get the Jack and Daxter collection, which is pretty cool. But, I mean, that's a whole generation difference, like from standard def to HD. And with the next gen in general, the big issue here is you're going from HD to even more HD, and I don't think that difference is so in your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad I highly recommend Last of Us as a game in itself. It's
a great game.
If you can marathon it or stuff like that, I almost think it's better that way, because you keep that attachment, that emotional attachment to the game and to the characters. So when you get to the ending, which we will not spoil it for Fed,
Exactly.
They all go down on the Titanic. Up dead. But it's the ending. It's a very mature ending. No, not mature graphically, but mature in what it's trying to say.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so I think the more you can play it in single sittings, the better. It's my opinion on the game.
Yeah. It plays out like a movie. I mean, my wife sat here and she watched me play for hours and hours playing that game.
Yeah.
And she was interested in what was going on. Like, she wasn't on the computer or anything. She's actually watching the game like she would be watching a TV show or a movie, right? And she was really into it.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Something got brought up, and we're the PS Now, but let's actually talk about the Xbox One game, the EA access, because Sony turned it down, and now Xbox One has it, which seems very interesting because it's a subscription program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you maybe want to lead this discussion, Fed, as far as because this just got announced as well this week, as far as Xbox One getting it?
Yeah, I've got beta access to it.
Oh, do you?
Nice.
So tell us about it. What's going on?
Using your federal powers.
Yeah.
That's right.
Cronyism.
Damn it. Well, anybody who has the early review of Xbox One updates gets access to the beta for that. Anyway, there's only 4 games on it, and it's so funny when you watch all the media tweets and all that stuff. They talk about, you can do it for $5 a month, and that's all they talk about. Well, you can do $30 a year, which is a whole lot cheaper than freaking $5 a month. So that's pretty cool. I mean, if you can, it seems like, you can, there's no limit to what you can do with them while you have them. You can download them and play all of them if you want. So if you can download 4 or 5 games and play them for $30 a year.
For a year, yeah.
And EA has some good titles. I mean, it's EA, so a lot of people will bitch about it just being EA. I think that's a pretty good deal. I mean, to download Battlefield 4 or Madden or, if something comes out and I was surprised that they didn't have Titanfall, which I'm sure it will probably come around.
Right.
But, if you can do those games and play them, why not? Especially sports games, because some people don't like to buy them at full price retail right out the gate.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Whether I do it or not, I don't know. I'm going to have to see what else comes out there after the beta, but
what if you're
I think it's a good deal.
What if you're playing the beta and you're actually really liking the EA access? And I just thought of this while you were talking, because you almost stepped on something that's kind of an interesting effect that could be. Now, let's say EA Access does really well. It's exactly what fans like, this idea that you kind of pay for the access. Do you see this being a huge issue for GameFly?
Oh,
yes. Well, no. Yes and no. I mean, yes, because if people were going for mostly, which EA is, they have a lot of titles. I mean, anytime I go into GameStop and every time I wanted to buy a game, it was like, it's an EA game, it's an EA game. The ones that weren't on sale, And so GameFly, for some things. I mean, if you're a PlayStation fan, no, I guess GameFly will be great. If you're not, then you like EA games, and it's going to hurt some because that's the reason I quit doing GameFly. Not for that. I mean, I quit GameFly because I pay, it wasn't worth it for me to pay. I think it was almost $10 a month. Sure, I could get 3 games, but I felt like if I didn't rush through them, I didn't get my $10 worth. That's $120 a freaking year, or $30 a year to play any EA game that they want to throw out there. I mean, they can throw any one they want. GameFly can only give you what they allow them to have.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if there's going to be conflict of interest down the road where EA and other people that decide to do things like this, they'll go, well, no, you don't get our big titles because it's going to be like HBO Go. It's like, no, you're not going to get our content because we want them to go with us directly.
As long as they pay EA to have it, EA will let them have it. They don't care.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's the plus side of being soulless. You're right.
I mean, really.
Money.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't lie. I'm really surprised Sony didn't do this, and they said it wasn't a value to their people on PlayStation. Not because it is. I mean, I don't know if it is or not, but to not even give them the choice to see if it's a value to them, that was kind of weird.
They said PS Plus was a better
and it may
service.
Be, but. Why not at least give your fans the choice?
Yeah.
Choices.
I don't know. That was weird.
Well, so what's your opinion on this wiki?
I love it. I'm in. I don't think it'll affect GameFly. I'm a member of GameFly. I'm still going to keep it if I do this.
Cool.
Because $120 a year, that's 2 games, and I'm going to purchase more than 2 games in a year.
Right.
So if I just do GameFly, I'll play as many games as I can, as opposed to just two a year. But yeah, if I hit it on the nail with the sports games, I haven't bought a sports game in, I think, 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
Just because they stopped supporting it after a year. And I'm afraid they're going to shut the online down after 3 years. That tends to be what EA does.
Yeah.
So, but I was going to buy NHL this year just because they have a guy that worked on the Hadron Collider doing puck physics.
Oh, really?
And I have this, you guys know what that is?
No idea.
Okay.
What, the collider?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Dunk, it was an attempt to create a black hole.
Oh,
within a contained box.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they tried to destroy the universe.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
perfect for a hockey game.
Makes perfect sense.
So I said, I got to see these puck physics.
Two pucks collide, you get a black hole. The whole teams are gone.
Suck your Xbox down.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Oxabella?
I am one of those people that I do not like EA, and I will not buy anything from EA unless it's something that I really, really want.
Yeah.
Since they did that whole stupid, if you buy a pre-owned game, you have to pay us money to be able to play it online, I have not gone near EA, and for me, I wouldn't pay £5 a month for something like that. If I wanted to play an early access game, I would buy it. And I don't really think I would get a lot of use out of something like that, especially with EA releasing mainly sports games. I don't play them.
Right.
So, if you like sports games, fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I personally don't in sports games, but for probably a different reason. I think I picked up a Madden. I can't. No, it was an NCAA football game, and I didn't understand it. I felt stupid. Like, the last sports game I played was on the NES, and you had 2 buttons. So now you're pressing all these things, you're calling plays. I'm like, oh my god, no. So can I play the fan? That's what I want.
Drunk guy in the stand.
Yeah, drunk guy with mustard stains on my...
And a beer helmet.
Yeah, beer. Oh, my god, that'd be awesome. But, how about you, Dunk?
I'm not a fan of, I mean, I guess it depends on the game, but for me, subscription gaming doesn't seem like it's really that worth it. I made a thing, I said on the forum, like, I take a game like Battlefield 3, which is going on for me playing Battlefield 3, I've been playing it for almost 4 years.
Yeah.
And for me, if I was playing the subscription-based game with a game like that, 4 years times 30 is $120. So $120 for Battlefield 3 just seems like a lot of money. But, I mean, at the same time, I do get all that extra stuff, too. I'm not just getting Battlefield 3. I'm getting all these other EA releases as well. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it depends on the game. Like Battlefield 4, I don't think I can get $30 a year for it, personally. But, I mean, FIFA, I would play FIFA. But, again, sports games and me don't get along.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm with you on that one. There's way too much to do, and I can't concentrate that quickly. Like, I got this guy over in the corner who's supposed to get the puck, while this guy over here has to defend, while this guy in the middle has to hit this other guy into the boards or something like that. Like, there's just so much going on that I can't concentrate all on all these different options all at once. I like how the games are played, and I like watching the games.
Right, yeah,
but
definitely.
I mean, I know the rules of the game, but when it comes to actually setting up a team to do this, it's a little more difficult than I would like for my video game.
Right. And, I've for years enjoyed going to a sports bar and then doing the half second after, second-guessing the coach. Mm-hmm. And then when I have to play the game, it's like if I can't even do it then I have to face reality that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So
That's right. That's right.
Screw you, EA, for making me feel stupid. I won't buy.
The problem with EA is they have good titles. They're just so bad at keeping them up to date and keeping the players happy with what they've released. Like Battlefield could have been a good game if they'd have waited instead of pushing it out instantly, right, one after the other. And I mean, the same thing's going to happen with Hardline, but at least with Hardline, they're kind of saying, hey, maybe we should wait a little bit until we release that game.
It's because the internet tore them a new one.
Maybe they're getting a little wise, but I mean, when you're voted worst company in the world, 2 times in a row, it's time to wake up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. EA I don't know if you've ever seen their building. Like, I used to drive by it, and it even looks soulless. I don't know, it would be like Christmas Eve, you drive by and you feel bad because up in the offices where their artists work, if their lights are still on and because EA is making them work, they're just, I don't know, it's like everyone else is out of town, the whole city's dead.
Except for them.
Yeah, except for EA still got their lights on. It's like, you will make that.
Oh, humbug.
Yeah. Madden.
In the building.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't have any love for EA, but you know what? It would be different if they put out more games that I personally was like, oh, I'm going to go buy that, and that doesn't happen to be the case. So it's just kind of a built-in bias there as well. Well, we mentioned Battlefield, so we have to talk about Call of Duty, right? Because for one, they're well,
no, I'm just kidding.
We kind of do. We don't have to go too far into it. Well, they put out, I think, another story mode trailer, right? More Kevin Spacey talking, and then they gave some hint, and they showed some a little bit of footage. Like, it looks like one of the maps is going to be in San Francisco, which I get a kick out of. You're finding people right underneath the Golden Gate, and then what's your thoughts about the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare? What do you think? What you've seen? Are you excited about the multiplayer trailer coming out? Do you not care at this point? Just be honest. But let's start with Oxabella.
My view on the new Call of Duty is just no, and stop making them. I played Call of Duty at a semi-professional level for 3 years, and
wow.
I hate it now. I hate it with a passion. I played pretty much up until I rejoined GS a few months ago, and Ghosts was horrible. It is the worst one that they've ever made, and I've never played the campaigns because obviously I'm a multiplayer person. That's what interests me. That's what I want to play. And I don't think it's necessarily the games themselves that are bad. I think it's the people playing the games that are bad.
Right.
And it's the people that ruin the games for you, because when you're constantly running into a room and there's someone sitting in a corner surrounded by C4 and an LMG.
And a dog.
And a dog.
Yeah, and a dog.
And an RC monster truck with C4 on it.
For me, that is not an enjoyable way to play a game.
Right.
I mean, you sit there and you don't do anything. How bored must you be waiting for someone to run into that one room?
Yep.
And I think Call of Duty is dead. It got Modern Warfare 2 was brilliant. Black Ops 1 was really good. Modern Warfare 3 I hated with a passion. I played it for about a week and then I didn't pick it up again.
I did see that one.
Black Ops 2 I did enjoy, but it was a bit broken in some ways. And Ghosts they just shouldn't have bothered with. So this one, the new one, I will not be getting, and I don't care about it. I think it's going to be just as bad because they're continuously just getting worse and worse. And they're also trying to take ideas from other games and implement them into their games, and that doesn't work either. It's not Call of Duty anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also the caveat to kind of this question is everyone's thoughts on it's very much in the future now. I mean, you're getting further and further away from the modern warfare. I mean, it should be future warfare, but I think they can't put that in the title because they really get a reaction. What's your opinion, Fed?
Well, let's see.
Let's be brutally honest.
Let me take Bella's thought and expand on it and say not only no, but hell no. I haven't watched even a single trailer for any of the Call of Duty game because I have no interest in Call of Duty at all anymore whatsoever. And I'll tell you what, when I played Ghost. I started playing, I played every Call of Duty until this one. And I played Ghost, and I started playing it, and I enjoyed it. And the minute they tried to turn it into this competitive thing, nothing against you, Bella, sorry, I had to quit because I don't want to be forced to play competitive. That's why I joined Gunslingers. And, at least in Black Ops 2, I think they had it separated. People want to be competitive, went into this area.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute I read, was it read or I saw a video from, I think it was Drifter, who, he gets all the inside info on this stuff, and they said they were really going to focus on the competitive side, making multiplayer competitive. I was like, I'm done, can't do it, sorry, I'm not competitive, don't want to be competitive, take your game, and good luck, see you later, bye-bye.
Yeah, I did read that too. I used that they want to expand on the that competitive thing, which I thought was a bust. So apparently, in the studio, they're like high-fiving each other, and everyone else is like, "Did they ever fix the app?" I guess people really enjoyed it. Yeah, we tried it, and that didn't work out. So, what do you think? I don't think Wiki, you haven't responded yet.
Nope.
Nope.
There we go.
There we go.
Call of Duty is, it's kind of like Bella was saying. I played up to Modern Warfare 3, and at some point I had an epiphany and was like, this just isn't fun. Like, this is causing me stress and ulcers. So I'm putting it down and never playing it again, and I haven't touched it since.
Nice. Yep. But Kevin Spacey is in it himself.
We should call it Call of Titanfall.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of a Titanfall and Halo mashup, the new one, by the looks of it to me, and that is wrong on so many levels.
It has Kevin Spacey if he had dead eyes, which is my biggest animation. Just get an animator in there and animate the eyes. Don't give him that mocap dead eye look. But how about you, Dunk?
To me, Kevin Spacey's the coolest part of it. Even if they didn't have his character in it, the actual character that looks like Kevin Spacey, just his voice. Yes. I listen to his voice. Every time I hear his voice, I'm taken back to the Kaiser Soze Usual Suspects kind of thing. But
7, he was amazing.
Or 7, oh my god, I know, right? But I mean, I say I'm not going to get this one, but I probably will. I say that with every Call of Duty that comes out, and I always end up pre-ordering it, because they always have like a poster or something cool to give away. So I'm such a sucker for free shit.
That's exactly how they drew me in for Modern Warfare 3. I got a poster.
Yeah, I know.
Goodness gracious.
But I mean, it's Call of Duty, and it hasn't changed for so long. It's the same thing. And the whole competitive aspect, to me, the competitive, when people say that they're competitive, and I mean no offense to anybody that says they're competitive, they just camp like shit. To me, it's the whole KD thing. There's nothing competitive about that. To me, a competitive game is winning a game by capturing flags, by winning something. I mean, I've played hours of Battlefield 3. My KD isn't that good in Battlefield 3, but my score per minute and my win-loss ratio are awesome because I do nothing but go after the objective.
Yeah.
And when you focus a game, even their domination mode, you can still win domination in Call of Duty by just getting a whole bunch of kills, just by racking up kills. Doesn't matter how many flags the other team has. If you kill tons of people, you're still going to win.
Right.
And when you focus primarily on that in a game, you lose me as a fan. Cause
that was your problem with Destiny too, wasn't it, Doug?
It was. I mean, the whole thing where, I mean, you got flags in the game, great. But if the reason we're capturing flags means absolutely nothing, then what the hell was the point?
Well, okay, I will get it. But there's a reason, and it's a very specific reason. And that's, I won't get it for any other system but the Wii U. I'll get for that because I really like first-person shooters with motion control, and that is completely a dead genre now, with the exception now with the Wii U, still having the Wiimote support. So I'll play that because I really enjoy it, and I wish there was different games other than Call of Duty to have it, but they put up a good offering for it. And knowing that they probably will strip out all that competitive stuff, it's like, hey, that's fine. You know? Yeah, the Wii U won't even get that aspect of it anyway, so, you know. So I'll get it. I like Ghost for what it is, but I don't love it, and I haven't really enjoyed it since, like, First Modern Warfare, to be honest.
That was such a good game.
Yeah, where I just, like, I really, really loved the experience of playing with everybody, and it was just a lot of fun. It disheartens me that they've decided now their audience is the super competitive, and there's definitely a difference between people that played, like, Oxabella, who played quasi-professional, and competitive. Professional means that they're good, they try, and, they have objectives. When I see in forums, in the general community, not GS, but outside of GS, the desert that we are the oasis in, so to speak, when they say the competitive, that's code for, I'm just going to be a jerk to everyone. Mm-hmm. Because it's really, if you go into competitive forums and stuff and you read their stuff, it's terrible. So, it's a lot of bragging, a lot of boasting, and, I hate that. It's like, I'd rather be someplace where people can be just honest, like, oh man, I suck at this. Oh, that's cool. Come play,
Yeah, exactly.
The thing that I see on it is Major League Gaming is the biggest competitive, space out there. And most of the people that play on MLG say that they're competitive players, and they're not. If you're a true competitive player, you do not sit in a corner. You don't just camp in one area. You work as a team. You go for the objectives. You will sacrifice yourself to save a teammate so that your teammate can either plant the bomb, get the capture, get the kill. A lot of players won't do that.
No.
And I don't... my KD on the Call of Duty games was barely positive, but I had an extremely high capture rate because it was my job to be the objective player.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And everyone should have their own roles, and everyone should work as a team. And to me, sitting in a corner, waiting, watching a point isn't competitive.
Yeah, it's... See, I'm pretty white bread when it comes to Call of Duty. I like, if Murky was here, he would roll his eyes because they were like, oh, let's go play this and this. Yeah, I was like, no, I'll be standard TM. That's all I care about. I'll play Team Deathmatch. And you know what? I'll be sick of the game itself before I'm sick of that mode. It's just that's what I like to play. So I could never be, quote-unquote, competitive anyway, because you look and it's like, oh, I have a high kill death. Well, if I never go into domination or capture the flag, it's going to remain that way, because that's what it is. It's pretty straightforward. You kill more than you get killed, your team wins, kind of thing. That's what Team Deathmatch is. So, I don't know. You gotta remember Call of Duty keeps selling really well. I think that's gotta be sooner or later there's gonna be a year where the main story is that it's sold like crap. I don't know if Advanced Warfare, I think, to be honest, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is a really generic title to me, for one.
Yeah, I was surprised when they released that title. I thought that was like a placeholder when I first heard Advanced Warfare, and I thought for sure that they were gonna come up with something a little more catchy, but yeah, they stuck with that.
Yeah.
What was it? Medal of Honor, Advanced Warfare too?
Yes,
Advanced Warfighter, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, really close. That's what I thought.
Medal of Honor Warfighter, that's what it was.
That was.
Just plain Warfighter, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I played the beta of that, and that was a dud. So.
Yeah. I like them.
I don't know. I don't know. It's. If they don't have it for the Wii U, or they say, hey, it's coming out and we don't support the Wiimote anymore, then I'll just pass. So I have it, they make no money off of me, The Wii U community for Call of Duty is so extremely small that honestly, I can see why in their offices they're going, do we really have to, So I hope they still do it for me, because God knows Call of Duty Conduit will never come out again. So
I had to throw in that Conduit.
Yeah,
throw in a Conduit
reference. Yep. Yeah, I'll do on that Let's Play video. I'll do a Conduit one just to.
Nice.
Yeah, every time you log in, you have to watch it or something.
Oh, well, all right.
How to lose a bunch of memories all at once. But, we're actually coming to an end. We kind of touched some major stories here that came out. Before we go, I'm just curious, do any of you play indie games?
Absolutely.
Because I read on IGN, and it seems it's not only IGN, GameSpot, everyone's doing these articles about the resistance to indie games, and I was just wondering, versus buying AAA titles. And I was just like, do you see yourself buying more and more indie games? And if so, why? How about you, Wiki?
I've always bought indie games. For me, I find that's where the cool, neat, funny ideas come in.
Uh-huh.
I feel if there was only AAA, it'd be the same thing. It'd be Call of Duty. Everything would be Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It would be, Halo 24, and that'd be it.
Yeah.
But there's multiple indie games where I absolutely love the idea. Rogue Legacy is one. Super Hot is another. I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of Super Hot?
Nope. No.
It is a first-person shooter where if you stand still, time stands still.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah. So
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost turns into kind of a chess game, because if you keep moving and somebody shoots you, the bullet will keep moving towards you. Or if you stop, the bullet will stop, and then you can adjust on which direction you want to go.
Is it multiplayer?
No, it's only single player. It's a Unity game.
See, that could revolutionize the Call of Duty multiplayer.
And it's super stylized, super slick, bright colors. It looks almost like Mirror's Edge.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I highly recommend checking that out, especially because it's free, because it's a Unity game.
Okay.
If you're a fan of indies.
Yeah.
Unity, the game engine Unity?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Well, what do you think, Fed? Or do you play any games? If not, why?
I play a couple here and there, but they're just those things that don't. I don't know, that for some reason they don't interest me. They don't grab me. I don't hate them. I don't have a problem with them. I'm just not one of those that goes out and searches them out.
Right.
So when they say they have a bunch of indie games, just like when there was that big debate between Xbox is not letting indie developers and PS4 is, I'm like, I don't care. right. I mean, seriously, sorry, I didn't care. So that's where I stand.
Okay. And how about you, Dunk?
I've played a ton of indie games on PC. I mean, the cool thing about PC is there's so many free games, especially on Steam. Like, Steam has tons and tons of free games. So I've tried a lot of different free games, and they're all they're iffy, some of them. Some of them are good. Some of them are absolutely downright terrible. Some of them, I don't even know what they were smoking when they thought the idea up. But, yeah, it depends. It depends on the game mode. It depends on the genre. There's a lot of indie developers out there that want to be AAA developers, so they just copy AAA titles.
Right.
So there's lots of indie Call of Duty games as well as the more original stuff. But like Fed said, I mean, as long as I get really good games, I'm happy with that. And if they're all AAA titles, then so be it.
I mean, Guacamelee was an indie game.
Yeah. I haven't played that yet.
It is very good.
I've got it downloaded.
It crashed every time I tried to download it, so I said screw it.
You just ate some guacamole.
Yeah.
What do you think, Oxabella?
I love indie games. I like playing games that aren't as well known, and people don't really give them a chance, and I think that a lot more people should. And one of the games that I'm actually looking forward to most this year is actually an indie game. It was released today, but unfortunately I can't afford to buy it.
Oh my god.
Firefall.
I know. No, actually.
No.
It's
even
the
better.
Necro Dancer.
What is it called?
Oh, yeah.
Crypt of the Necro Dancer.
Oh.
And it's basically a dungeon crawler roguelike rhythm game, and you have to do everything in time to the music, so it has an absolutely amazing soundtrack. And you can actually use a dance pad, so you're actually dancing along while you're playing it.
Ella has promised to stream this.
I will be streaming, yes. And you basically dance, and you dance to kill enemies, you dance to pick up items, you dance to move around, and I just can't wait. I really can't wait to play it. It looks amazing.
I'm gonna have to watch some. That is very interesting. Jeez. I don't know. I know I'm kind of a hypocrite on it, because in theory, somebody asks, do you like indie games? I say yes, because I want to support it. I like the idea, and the reason why is because I miss the NES days where, and I know Duncan and I have talked about this in chat before, I miss the days where there were so many titles coming out, and now there's such an extreme filter about what actually gets put out on the shelf. I mean, there would never be a Yonoid or a Dick Tracy game anymore, and maybe that's good overall. I don't know, but what I do know is it feels like it filters out a lot of ideas, and now those ideas are being reintroduced in the market through the indie market, and I think that's cool. But I don't actually go buy them. That's the thing. I don't buy them, and I'm trying to think why, and that's because I'm buying more and more digital, but for the most part, I'm still buying discs that I can feel that I can either sell later or I can collect, and let's face it, indie, it's all about the digital, because it takes away that, that wall where, but I also do like media gates to a certain degree. Like, I don't know if any of you have gone to like an independent film festival before.
I have. Nope. Yeah.
Well, one thing is, you hear these people that I imagine they're drinking their wine and say, oh, independent film's so much better than Hollywood. Go to an independent film festival and realize how wrong you are, because that's kind of like what the indie games are. There's a lot of them that are trying to mime what's in Hollywood, and it just becomes kind of a badly done mirror back to Hollywood. And then a lot of it is, you're like, well, no, this isn't ever going to be sold. It's crap. But there is these amazingly unique ideas in there. So what's great is go to the really big film festivals where all that stuff is weeded out. And then by the time you get to it, it's like the really great stuff. And as long as in the market space on Xbox or on Wii U and PS3, or Sony, sorry, the PS4, I feel like there is some kind of filter system going on where, I get the cool ideas, the off the wall or off the beat, or maybe the flawed ones, but still good in its own right, as it can show up there, but not this whole span of, everyone wanting $5 for me, and they've just pumped out something for the first time,
No.
But
well, it's like if you've ever seen a show that kind of spoofs or mocks independent films. The first one that I think of is The Simpsons, where they had an independent film festival thing in Springwood, and they showed all these really terrible movies with extreme close-ups and weird colors and funky things going on. And that's really how independent movies are sometimes. They're really crap like that. And it's the same thing with the games. Like, some of them are just absolute trash. And again, it goes back to that. I don't know what they were smoking or drinking at the time when they thought this would be a cool idea.
I just, indie project, somebody should go on, I'm blanking on the term that does where you can donate money to a project.
Kickstarter?
Kickstarter, wow. Shows how out of touch I am. Somebody should do a Kickstarter for the HD remake of Yonoid.
I would put money into that. I seriously would.
The Kickstarter for Shaq Fu succeeded, so that's being remade.
There we go.
The rewards for it were amazing. Like, if you donated a couple $1,000s, everything was Shaq based. So, like, if you donated like $10,000, Shaq would go and have dinner with you.
Really?
Or he would DJ your party.
Oh my god. Because I'm sure Shaq and I have the exact same taste in music. Got any Pearl Jam in there, Shaq? Anyway. But, okay. Well, let's end on that odd note. And just let's go around real quick. If you kind of give shout-outs to people that might be listening or give a plug on something you're doing, let's go ahead and do that. Let's start with you, Dunk.
All right. This is Dunk signing off. Shout out to all the GS members for being so awesome and all the cool people that are going to be joining or have joined in the last little while here. Welcome to GS, because it really is a great place.
All right, suck up.
You're just jealous because I came up with a good ending.
Well, okay, what does the grumpy old man Fed architect have to say?
Actually, I got absolutely
Get off my lawn. Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
No, who do you want to give a shout out to, or a plug, or anything, Fed?
I really got nothing. I mean, I've been so busy lately that I don't even know what's going on.
Everyone gets so busy in the summer. It's funny. It's just that downtime for gaming.
Yeah, it's just so I'll say goodbye, and that's about it. That's all I got. Sorry. No plugs this time.
How about you, Wiki?
I'm going to give a shout out to Boba Fett if he didn't throw his computer against the wall when we were bashing Destiny.
He derailed the hype train.
Also, I'll be streaming Firefall if anybody wants to check it out.
Oh, when are you going to do that?
Probably a little bit tonight, but definitely tomorrow.
Oh, sweet. All right, and what's your account? Do you have it on the live feed page?
Yeah, it's just Wikilectual.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just go to the Wikilectual on the drop down. Be able to see a stream. And how about you, Oxabella? By the way, welcome to GS. I know you're a fairly new member, so I'm really glad that you were able to come on.
Thank you for having me. I will give a quick little shout out to say thank you to Gobi and to Bunt for helping me over the last few days with my numerous computer problems. They have been extremely helpful, although Bunt did try and tease me a little bit and make me think I had to reorder everything. But she got there in the end.
Classic Burnt.
Get used to it. No, I'm just kidding. But, just give a shout out to everyone that's listening or will be listening since this isn't exactly live. So, I really appreciate people who keep signing up even during the downtime and people are busy with their barbecues and stuff like that and not necessarily in front of their controller. But, so I thank all of Gunslingers for keep coming back and keep making it worthwhile. Let's all say bye, because I love awkward byes. Bye.
Bye. The Deadpool movie's coming.